Q1, Anna places the following advertisement in the window of her local newsagent on Monday. A reward of £100 is offered for the safe return of my two beloved poodle dogs Bliss and Charm who escaped from my garden last week. Evie sees the advertisement on Tuesday and spends Wednesday and Thursday looking for the dogs. Friday she finds Bliss and returns her to Anna. Anna refuses to pay the reward, explaining that she placed an announcement in the local evening newspaper on Thursday withdrawing her offer of a reward. Ezra is out walking on Tuesday and sees Charm in the local park. The dog did not appear to be with anyone. He takes it home. He sees Anna's name and address on the dog's collar and so returns Charm the following day. Thursday morning he meets a friend who tells him that Anna had offered a reward for the return of the dogs. Anna had not mentioned this to Ezra. Discuss. Summary of facts. Anna has placed an advert in the window of her local newspaper agency. She has stated that anyone finds her mission dogs will get a reward of £100 sterling only. Two people have found and returned her dogs. In our answer below we will determine whether a valid contract will be formed between parties and whether the parties will have a claim in the reward or not. For there to be a valid contract, there must be 5 fundamental elements of a binding contract present in the contract between the parties. Firstly, offer which has to be accepted along with consideration between the parties involved, and both of the parties must have intention to create legal relations and as well as have competent capacity. Issue 1. Whether the contract that may be formed will be unilateral or bilateral. First issue is to determine whether the contract that is being formed will be a unilateral contract or a bilateral contract. Unilateral contracts are those types of contracts where only one party has the responsibility of performance. Carlisle v. Carbolic. Unilateral contracts, the acceptance must be done via conduct. Dahlia case. Furthermore, an offer cannot be accepted without the knowledge. William case. Even forgetting about the offer that they have accepted cannot amount to acceptance. Gibson's case. Moreover, as regards the withdrawal of an offer in unilateral contracts, there is no substantive law in the English courts. Therefore, reliance regarding withdrawal of offers can be placed on foreign precedents, as seen in the case of Shuey v. USA. It was judged that the withdrawal of an offer in unilateral contracts can be valid only if it is communicated via the same method it was first offered. On the other hand, bilateral contracts are where both parties have the responsibility of performance. A classic example of this is buying and selling of a product. In our case, we note that A had given out an offer to the world at large, claiming that whoever finds her dogs will be rewarded with £100 sterling. We see that this offer can only be accepted by the way conduct. Any person who wishes to accept this must find the dogs first. Since conduct is the only acceptance here, therefore, this will be considered as a unilateral contract based on the law mentioned above. Issue 2. If unilateral, then state the general rule. Since this is an unilateral contract, we note that acceptance will be done by conduct and those who are accepting must do some degree of conduct, i.e. part performance. Unilateral contracts, full performance is required for acceptance, but in the case of Luxor v. Cooper it was stated that a withdrawal of the offer in uni contracts will be invalid if the conduct, i.e. performance, is trivial and the reward is significant. Note that, however, the withdrawal still must follow the same medium rule. Issue 3. Discuss each case separately to identify whether a valid contract is formed or not. Davy. We note that D had seen the offer of reward on Tuesday, and started the performance from very next day, which shows that she had accepted the offer and performed her part of conduct. She found the dog on Friday and returned it to Anna. Where A had refused to pay her the reward, stating that she had withdrawn the offer on Thursday. Based on the law and rulings mentioned above, we note that from the case of Shuey we see that withdrawal must be communicated by the same method it was first offered. In our case, we note that the first offer was given out by an advert in the window and the withdrawal was published in the newspaper. Since there is a clear difference between both the withdrawal and the offer. Therefore, A cannot revoke her offer and must pay the reward of finding the dog to D. Failure to do such can result in breach of a contract and can also empower D with a claim to A. We note that he had found the dog in the park and later returned it after learning about its address. After returning, she learned that there was a reward for anyone who would return the dog. Relying on the cases and law mentioned above, we note that he will have no claim for reward as she was unaware of such offer and knowledge of offer is required for there to be a valid acceptance. Case